We are now live. And let me see. Well, it says it's waiting on me on YouTube. We're live.
For now.
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting on YouTube to. There we go. We're on YouTube. And I don't see anybody watching.
All right.
I made a, you know my friend James, right? You've
Oh, yeah.
with him and stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to, as long as I'm waiting on people to show up, I'm going to add a little clip of a song I made about him. It's just got his picture. It's just got his picture. The song is funny. I was messing with AI and wrote the lyrics for it and put music to it. But man, it's James. Yeah, I mean it fits him to a T if you knew him. I'm gonna upload it real quick. I wasn't gonna show it. I'm gonna actually, since this turned out so good, I'm actually going to go back in and edit the song and make more lyrics for it.
Yeah.
But he was laughing when he heard it. He was losing his mind over it. He loves it. If you want an example of somebody who really does not care what people think, it's him.
Oh yeah.
And he lives by it. He's an old hippie, man. It's funny when you get somebody that's an outdoorsman like this, because man, that dude has hunted all of his life. He's fished. I mean, he's a redneck up to his gills, but he is a hippie.
That's funny.
And I just every day we talk. I threatened to divorce him before because we talk every day. But my God, the worst thing to do is get him on politics. He gets so mad and fired up.
I'm the same way though.
I try not to let it get to me because you can't change anybody's mind, right?
Oh no.
3 people are watching. Okay, you can't change anybody's mind about it. Everybody's entitled to that vote. The problem is people have gotten so mad and passionate about it now that you almost can't have a civil conversation with somebody on the opposite side.
Oh no, you can't.
And you're like me. You got enough years on you. You remember when people would vote, and when they talked about it, they would argue, but it would never be like, I hate your guts argument.
Oh no, you still friends.
Yeah,
you know,
still friends.
Well,
I'm waiting on this mode. I'm gonna go ahead and play my new intro song for the for this video podcast.
Okay.
It's like 2 minutes, 53 seconds, but I think it's an awesome song I put together.
By the water at the crack of dawn, casting tails where the big fish spawn, lines in the river where the secrets flow, reeling up stories from the depths below. A rabbit hole deep where no hooks can tread, fishing out of whispers that the waters have said. The stories get tangled like nets in the night, but the Hoosier keeps fishing till the morning light. Down the rabbit hole where the currents swirl, looking every moment like a precious pearl. From the river of tales to the lake of lore, reeling up life and casting out more. The sun dips low, but the heart stays bright. Fishing dreams dancing fading light. A tug on the line, a tale in disguise. The fishing Hoosier never says his goodbyes. With a creaky old boat and a bucket of dreams, he sails on the rivers hanging in the streams, digging up memories like the earth's pure gold. He's the keeper of treasures untold. Down the rabbit hole where the currents swirl, hooking every moment like a precious pearl. From the river of tales to the lake of lore, reeling up life and casting out more. got more.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like the way that turned out. And that picture, that was supposed to be the cartoon version of you, by the way.
Oh,
I don't know if you realize that or not, but yeah, that's the way the cartoon converter turned you out. There were a lot of worse ones. I had to go with that one because the others were turning out. I was like, man, nobody'd recognize him like that. But yeah, that's going to be for now on, like 3 minutes before the live stream start. That's what'll play for the intro.
was that done on AI?
Yeah, I wrote the lyrics. Hey, I put the music and the vocals to it.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually a pretty handy little tool. I mean, to be able to use them commercially like that, you have to pay a monthly fee, which isn't bad. It's like $10 a month.
I got
And you
you.
end up with like, you can make a couple thousand songs with that. I'll probably pay the premium for 1 month, make a whole bunch of songs, and then cancel.
There you go.
Because it's fun for now, but it won't be fun eventually. And so how many people we got watching here? It says,
I can't tell.
yeah, well, one person. Come on, folks. Need people to watch this. So really, I'd like to have more than one person before we start chatting it up.
Yeah. Where's everybody at? Everybody else must be doing lives.
You know, I hope not. That would be my luck. See what it says here. I'm going to look. Nope, I don't see any of our friends doing lives. It's maybe just time changes, and early in the day, people may still be at work.
That could be, yeah.
I mean, I guess it could always be that they don't like me, but I haven't done anything.
I doubt that. I just woke up about an hour ago. I worked last night. I only work a few days a month, but and usually it's night.
Is it always nights?
Most times, yeah. Every once in a while I'll get a day.
Throughout your career, did you work nights like that?
No, I worked. It was in the harbor. We did 3 days, 12-hour days, 3 12-hour nights, and then we was off for 3 days. And I did that for 30 years.
Kind of like a nurse's schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you like the schedule nurses usually keep.
Yeah, we got paid by the day. We didn't get paid by the hour. But good money, great benefits and everything, and had a good pension. So I retired at 55.
And there you go. If you can do it, enjoy what's left.
Yeah.
The government's going to take as much as they can anyway, so you might as well enjoy it before they take it all.
Well, I told my wife, I said, I ain't working until I'm dead. But the pension, since I left early, yeah. Since I left early, the pension's not as much per month. That's why I work a couple days a month just to help that out until I get my Social Security, if it's still there then.
Yeah, well, the fact that it's not as much, you still get to enjoy it longer.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll my guess is you'll get more return on it by retiring early.
That's what a financial guy told me. He said, you'll probably end up making more money on it by retiring earlier over the long run. But
Jim Smith showed up. He commented.
Hey, Jim.
I'll get to see him at the lake here eventually. He'll get a T-shirt. I only have 100 sitting in the box. I just haven't found a way to merchandise them.
Yeah, I thought about doing one of those stores, but I think Stacy said he never did sell anything on his store. I think he took it down.
Well, I was talking to Wild Hook. Adrian said they do theirs through a place called Fourth Wall.
Uh-huh.
It all looks good. They take care of the sales tax remittance and everything.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm establishing, my son and I have been working on building a website for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I want to really feature the video podcast. I'm also going to have like a page for music, fishing forums, etc. But if I can drive enough traffic to that website, then it would be worth it to have stuff. Like it's a print on demand is what I'll do. Is I'll go with a company that you get the orders, you send them in, they print it up and ship it out to your customer.
Yeah, that's what
I
I was
don't want
thinking
to
about
do it.
doing.
Yeah, I don't want to do it till I got enough traffic to make a difference, because otherwise I got to go get a retail certificate and a tax ID number, and I got to file the sales tax every month. It's not worth it for a few bucks.
No, not at all.
I'd rather not put myself on the government's radar without making sufficient money.
Exactly.
I mean, I've done well to live under their. I mean, I've never cheated anybody, but I keep my name out of their database as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
That's at least that's my, that's my goal. Let me play this Raunchy James real quick, and then we'll get to the fishing stories with Rod. But this is too funny. I won't play it all the way through because it starts repeating itself. So I'm just gonna play about a minute of it. But it's funny. If you know James, it's really funny.
Raunchy James and his boy Jeremiah. Crappy lies and hooters in the sky. He loves his dog and a pussy too. I'm talking about a cat, don't be crude. Ass crack showing and doing the bear dance. Oh, Jeremiah caught a glance.
Okay, that's pretty much that's what I got so far.
That was hilarious.
That is, he is a man who's always hated cats. I mean, hated them. And his wife brought home a stray kitten from work that she found in a dumpster, and they nursed it back to health. And for 2 months, all he could do was talk about how much he hated cats. But I would hear him in the background, playing with that kitten, feeding it treats. He finally, and I'd make fun of him, your cat person now. He finally had to admit that he really likes this cat. But it's the only cat he'll ever like. That's why I included the line about the cat.
That's funny.
But okay, so Jim says he was there yesterday. He thought, he was at the lake yesterday. Yeah, Jim, I didn't make it out yesterday. I had a chance and I passed it up. No, I'm sorry. It was Monday. I had a chance and couldn't get out there. But right now, my boat, the lower unit's all torn apart. James is replacing the seal kit, the seals, and rebuilding the water pump. My boat's been taken on water, so he's going to find out where that's coming in. But hopefully, I think he's going to pick up the lower unit and all the parts tonight, take them home. With any luck, I'll hopefully have my boat out on the water this weekend. Because I know he's been locating the big fish out there, so if the big ones are biting, I want to get out there before it's too late. I actually think because of the weather we're having, they're in a pre-spawn type of pattern. So anybody that's watching now, we got Rod Akers from Rod's Fishing Adventures. You guys, anybody watching this probably knows him, watched his videos, etc. But I know he's caught some pretty big fish. I've seen the videos, and I asked him to send me some timestamps, and I went in and I edited those videos and put clips together for this live stream. So we're going to play those. And he had a 60-pounder that I didn't get to include because he didn't actually have video of him catching it. It was just on his boat.
I got a funny story about that.
Okay.
I put the camera up and everything. Me and my buddy was fishing. We was in his boat, and I set the camera up behind us and thought I'd hit the play button or the record button. And we wasn't there 10 minutes. We wasn't set up 10 minutes, and my pole went down. And I fought that fish for probably 40, 45 minutes in heavy current. Finally get him in and everything. We get him in the boat, and I turn around and look at the camera, and it's not recording.
Yeah, I've had it happen. I mean, I pulled on a 25-pounder one time. And yeah, I just put my camera away for the night because I was wrapping up.
Yeah.
Like one more cast, and that's when I cast in there, and I had a crappie on the hook. I seen this great big mouth come up in the water, and I was like, no.
Oh, shoot.
It smashed the crappie, but it got hooked in the process. So I was like, well, I can cut the line, because it was like 6 or 8 pound test line.
Yeah.
I was like, I can fight this thing, or I can cut the line. I decided I just loosened up the drag and Took me 25, 30 minutes to get it in the boat because of the line I was using. I mean, if I'd have put any stress on it all, he'd have snapped that line.
Oh wow! Earlier that day, I was fishing by myself that morning and caught a 30. It was 28-pound grass carp. I had a little bit of night crawler on hook. I was trying to catch some bait, trying to catch a drum or something, to use for bait, and I had it on a light pole with 12-pound test, and you caught that 28-pound carp on that little pole earlier that day. I got that all on video.
Yeah, those times are exciting, are they not?
Yeah.
So we're gonna play the first video. I'm gonna do these in sequence of size. We'll play each one, then we'll let Rod chat about it and tell us about it if he remembers it. But he doesn't appear to be drunk in any of his videos, so I assume he remembers these. First one we'll go with was a 22-pound cat.
We got a good one on here, folks. Been on a bluegill head. Nice one. Dang it. Got him. Got him. Ugh. Oh, you're weighing them in dip nets, local people around here. I've weighed this dip net. It's 1.1 pounds and I subtract it. $22. Well, he's a pretty one. 22-pounder.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about putting these clips together. That catch lasted a lot longer than that, but in order to get the video down to size to be able to upload it to StreamYard, I had to cut out sections and put it all back together. So don't think Rod just reeled that thing in 30 seconds because it took a bit longer than that. But go ahead, Rod, tell us about that catch.
That was that's most of these fish was probably that I sent you. It was probably caught right there at Grafton, which is where the Illinois and Mississippi meet. I'm actually on the Mississippi River, but that was early morning, I think, if I remember right, because it looked like the sun was just coming up over the hill there. But I believe that was first fish of the day of that video, if I remember right. But,
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was the first one.
Yeah,
man, one great way to start your day out, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I hadn't been there very long.
On that? Did you say you have bluegill on there?
Yeah, it was a bluegill head. It wasn't very big, maybe the size of a $50.
Well, I've been telling everybody that fishes for catfish, and James swears to God that turtle livers are the crack for catfish.
Yeah.
He'd tell me and say, he'd catch a turtle this long time ago, but he'd throw it up on the bank, shoot it, and then cut it up and get his liver. And he said, man, you catch catfish right and left with those livers. I'm like, I understand the process, but it sounds almost crude. You only shoot it and take your liver. He's that kind of outdoors,
Oh yeah, I imagine the liver's that's probably got the most blood in it. That's why
it does. Well, a lot of people use cow liver and stuff to fish.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So a turtle liver would be something that would be more along the sense and all the taste of what's in the water probably soaks into their organs, so it'd probably be more appetizing to them.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Most times I fish with bluegill. I'm sorry.
Scotty made it in Fun Fishing Adventures.
Hey, Scotty. Yeah, most times I use bluegill for bait during the summer months, and then when the water starts getting cold, I'll go to shad. It's a little oilier, and I think the scent the scent gets out a little better, and the fish are a little more lethargic then, so they they don't pay much attention if they can't smell it. I guess that's the way my thinking is. But
So, have you like one thing, James? Because James has done a lot of catfishing, and I think I mentioned this recently, but he always told me to watch for the blackbirds along the rocks and the riprap and stuff.
mm-hmm.
He said when you see those blackbirds on those rocks, that's when the catfish are spawning, and you can just go up close to them and just drill them.
Oh, really? I've never heard that.
I guess from what he's telling me is catfish, when they lay their eggs, they have to push up against the rocks to push the eggs out.
Yeah.
So they spawn right there around that kind of structure, and the blackbirds just get up on the rocks, so some of the eggs will wash up there, and blackbirds just eat them.
I've never heard of that.
I mean, I can't verify that because I don't catfish.
Yeah.
But the truth is, like I said, he's an outdoorsman, man. He's no hillbilly kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
And I'd have no reason to disbelieve the guy.
Yeah. I learned most of my
fishing. He fishes with the whole turtle. He must be fishing for sharks.
I learned most of my fishing techniques from my grandpa. He was a commercial fisherman and fished for catfish, carp, and buffalo and stuff. And I grew up in a fish market. I was cleaning catfish when I was 8 years old in the fish market. And the time I get a little older, 6th, 7th grade, I was actually going out with him raising nets and stuff. And
that makes sense how you wound up on the water for your living.
Oh yeah. Well, my dad got back from Vietnam. He went to work on the river on a towboat, and then I just followed suit. And my youngest son's a pilot out there now.
I'm not going to ask you exact numbers. Does that make a good living?
Oh yeah. You mean towboating?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was. Well, I make about $700 a day right now as a trip pilot.
Why are you even messing with getting monetized on YouTube? If you make that kind of money, you're just in it for the fame, not the fortune.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, right, so you're not in it for the chicks.
Yeah. No,
I gotta admit, I've not attracted any fishing groupies, so maybe that's not in there.
No, I just did it because I actually enjoy this. I actually enjoy editing the videos and stuff. I did a few lives to where I could get to where I was monetized, but I really don't enjoy the lives like I do doing the videos and editing.
The problem with the lives is keeping a decent connection.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
and there's a whole lot of places out here to do that.
Yeah, that's the problem I run into with the lives is I can only fish certain parts of the lake because otherwise I don't have connection. So
yeah. Well, I've done that out here, and I had a connection, but it wasn't a very good one, and everything was after the live was over. I went back and watched it, and it was just a blur. And I'm like, I'm not putting something like that out. I don't,
Right. Well, when I go out, I do the live stream, and I also take my GoPro and record everything.
Yeah.
So I can put together a compacted video later, but also I can make sure I put out a high definition video of what's happened.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go.
It also allows me this year. It allowed me to save enough video footage to have videos every week or two throughout the winter.
Yeah. Well, that's something I do too. Around October, when the crappie fishing's really good, I'll go out and I'll videotape 2 or 3, get enough footage to do 2 or 3 videos per day, and then I save them extra ones back for when everything gets froze up and I can't get out, and then I got videos to get me through the winter. Yeah,
see, I put them all into one video. If I go out and I catch 100 crappie, that's usually what I'm going to show in the video. And it's probably why. I mean, I've got plenty of subscribers, but it's probably why I don't have the watch hours because I don't put enough FaceTime into my videos. It's just all fish catches.
Yeah.
And once people have seen 5, they're like, okay, this is all it is, and they move on. So this year I've rededicated myself to putting more FaceTime on the camera when I'm filming.
Yeah.
I mean, trick is how do I mount the camera so it gets the angle that works?
Yeah. I've got several different mounts I put on my boat, and I went to Harbor Freight and bought them spring clamps, those sweet spring clamps, and screwed them on the PVC poles I made to hold my cameras and my mics, and then I can move them around the boat to different spots where I need them. If the wind's, you know how it is, the wind's blowing one way, and you're facing the wrong direction.
All of a sudden, they're watching your back.
Yeah, yeah. So I got
a clamp that I bought from my GoPro that's made for it.
Uh-huh.
And the problem is getting something to clamp it to where it covers everything. I'm going to try to remedy that this year. Like I said, fashion something.
Yeah. I've
They
got
make
about,
the poles that go into the where you put your navigation lights,
yeah, and they charge your phone or
and they
charge
charge
your,
your phone too. They're like $109 or something, but I don't
yeah.
want to spend that on it.
No, I use these for my GoPro, these battery packs like that.
Right. Yeah, I've got
This
one hooked up to my camera right now.
This one here, I can plug it into my GoPro, and when I'm crappie fishing, I leave the camera go the whole time. I don't shut it off.
Right.
And this will last 8 to 10 hours and never, and still have 70% of the battery left when I get home.
But then don't you have to leave the battery casing open?
Yeah, it's, well, you got,
on the GoPro.
yeah, you, well,
Those
you don't
batteries
have to.
they're so snug, they're not going to fall out.
No. And I've never, unless it's been really, really hot, I've never had a problem with it overheating.
Yeah, well, that's why I started filming at 2K, because mine would overheat so fast at 4K. I dropped down 2K and it doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And see, Stacy made it in.
But when I'm doing my catfish, like the other day, I went catfishing. I caught 30 channel cat in 4 hours the other day. So I did 2 videos, and I actually stop them. I'll do my intro and then do my outro, and then I'll set up and do another intro and start fishing again. And I did 2 videos the other day. Then the first one comes out in the morning, but
Well, I'll watch it.
thank you. But when I'm catfishing, I leave the camera turned off. I got it on voice activated, and when that pole starts wiggling, I'll tell the camera to turn on. That way, the editing's a whole lot easier then.
Yeah, well, the reason I don't rely on voice commands is because I'll forget and I'll end up with that footage.
I've done that before too.
So,
or
Stacey,
the camera will be running. I'm sorry.
I asked Stacy if he was doing okay. He's in the chat.
Oh, good. Hey, Stacy.
Another one of my favorite channels. Eventually, I'm going to get him on here. I know he's got some fish worthy of talking about.
Oh yeah, he's got some nice smallies and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to go to the next video now. This one is a 28-pound catfish. Notice that we're working our way up there. So let's get that rolling. This one will take a $1.30 time-wise.
We've got it. Oh, we got a good one. We've got a good one.
A few moments later.
Yeah, Marine's boat. Oh yeah, he's a good one. We ain't done yet. Yeah. Oop. No, I don't have it. Got him. Looks like he just come off bed. He's all scarred up. About 28 pounds. Oh, he got some teeth on him. There he is. About 28 pounds, 27, 28 pounds. Just kind of bounce around there between 28 and 29. But he's a good one. We'll throw him back.
Nice catch.
Oh yeah, I caught 2 nice ones that day. I think there was a 34 pounder on that same day.
32 and a 34.
Yeah.
And that's got left 2 more clips. Well, no, what they may have come from a different video. Sorry, I used 2 different videos to.
Yeah.
But that's a nice fish, and there's a reason it was oinking like a pig.
Oh yeah.
It was built like one. So was that also bluegill head bait? You remember?
Yeah, I think all the clips I sent you was all on bluegill. Well, I take it back. That one was a 60 pounder. It was on a skipjack. I don't catch a lot of fish on skipjack up here, but that day I caught him on skipjack.
Yeah, and like I said again, I don't have that one on here because the whole point of fishing a rabbit hole is having all the proof and without the video. But but the picture you took, I should have included a picture anyway.
Yeah.
That thing was an absolute. I mean, that was a lake monster.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's not my PB though. My PB, which was a long time ago, way before I did YouTube, and you had phones to take pictures with. We didn't even take a picture of it because we was out there. Well, there wasn't no cell phones to take pictures with,
right.
but it was 78 pounds.
78 pounds. That's a monster.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And,
I know there's bigger catfish out there.
oh
but
yeah.
not in very many places.
Oh yeah. They do a tournament twice a year down here at Alton, which is about 30 miles away from me. And the last two tournaments has been over 100 pounders have been the winners.
Yeah.
I think the last one was 104, and the one before that was 101, I believe, if I remember right.
The biggest fish that's come out of this lake I fish is 70 pounds, and that's been
a
a one-time deal. We see the monsters on the screen, but the biggest one that's ever been pulled out that I'm aware of was 70 pounds.
That's a good one. No doubt.
It was big as the kid that was with the guy that caught it. You know, he had both hands holding that thing up by the mouth, and that fish was bigger than that kid that was with him.
That's funny.
So, but that was a nice catch right there. Scotty fished all day and not one fish. I don't know what to tell you, brother, except get a boat. That sounds so terrible, but the truth is, I mean, bank fishing, like Stacy does really well because he's right there on that river. And Stacy's got some other places he goes that he bank fishes and catch a lot of smallies and crappie and stuff. But for me, my experience with bank fishing is this. If the fish aren't there, you're hosed.
Yeah.
The boat, I get to go find them.
Scotty's got a couple boats.
Does he? Okay, I don't know that I didn't remember seeing him out on a boat. I seen bank fishing. But the boat I still want is Hitch by Hitch's boat. Man, that's the perfect setup for me.
Oh, man, that is a nice boat.
I mean, and when he puts that grill on it and goes out and cooks right there, I'm like, man, I'd never leave lake. I mean, until winter hit, I wouldn't leave.
Oh, yeah. I've debated building me a pontoon boat just for catfishing. And you have a grill on it and everything.
Just go out there, just enjoy the time, and just, I don't know, put an alarm on the line so you don't even have to watch it.
Yeah.
Or tie it to your toe like Huck Finn.
Yeah.
So, well, Scotty, I'll tell you, I probably haven't seen your boat videos because I've only been watching your videos for a couple of months now. So it's probably just not been the weather for you to have them out. I don't know why I didn't get to watch you till the last couple of months. I thought I'd had you on my subscribe list, but then I checked one night and I didn't. So my bad.
I think
you watch ours now because I watch him now.
YouTube's been kind of I'll noticed here lately different channels that I watch. I haven't seen nothing from them in quite a while, and I went back and checked, and I was unsubscribed from them, and I didn't unsubscribe. YouTube did it for some reason.
That's odd. Lately, my subscriber count's been bouncing up and down. I'll lose 5, and then slowly but surely over the next week or two, I'll get them back.
Yeah, mine's been doing the same thing.
So I don't know if people just decide to. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can't watch all the fishermen that I've subscribed to. There's not enough time.
I can't either. I'm subscribed to so many people that I can't keep up with them all.
I mean, I got like 7 or 8 channels that I try to watch everything they put out, except the shorts. They're not monetizing the shorts, so I don't need to do that. I'll still watch them occasionally, but long form videos.
No, my shorts have been getting monetized.
Have they really?
Yeah, it ain't much, but I've been making a little bit off of them.
I thought they didn't monetize until they hit like 3 million or something in a 90-day period.
No, you can monetize them. I forget what they call it, but yeah, it's not much. It depends on how many views you get, of course, but it's a few cents per view.
I got you. Well, I've determined that I'm probably never going to get monetized on YouTube, so I've settled with that.
You'll get there eventually. How many
hours?
hours?
3 years, and I'm still not monetized.
Yeah.
But, I've got like 1.5 million views.
Yeah.
It just haven't happened in a way that's built into monetization, but that's okay because I didn't start out doing it to make money.
Yeah.
I did it because it was a way for me to share fishing and be part of a community that likes the same things I like, and maybe I could learn a few things and people could learn a few things from me.
Yeah.
If it never makes a dime, I'm just okay with it.
Yeah, I do it. I like I said, I enjoy doing the editing and everything, making the videos. I'm trying to improve on my editing, but I'm not real good with tech stuff.
You know, I've been around computers since my dad was a nerd, like of the highest caliber. And so I grew up when I was a kid before they even had personal computers. My
Yeah.
dad brought one home from work and programmed it to behave like a personal computer for us kids and learning games.
Oh, wow.
So I've been around them basically my whole life. But yeah, I realized I don't think my dad took us fishing one time and we all shared one cane pole and nothing was caught. My dad was not an outdoorsman, but I'll tell you this. He could build a battery charger out of an egg carton.
Really?
Yeah, seen him do it. No big deal. We couldn't afford a battery charger. Our battery was dead, so he made one out of an egg carton. Now, it took a while to work, but it did. That was the blizzard of '78 when it got so bitter outside. But anyway, yeah, he built it out of an egg carton.
Wow.
He also explained to me how to cook hot dogs using paper clips and electrical outlets.
Oh, wow.
I was like, yeah, I think I'll pass on this one. If you do it wrong, as he told me, if you don't do it right, the electricity will pass through your heart and you're dead. But in college, that's when him and his nerd friends made hot dogs.
That's funny.
And I'm like, yeah, I just got to pass on that, you know. But the thing about it is, here he was a nerd, but he went to Marines because he thought because he was always the youngest person in school. He was always like 2 or 3 younger than everybody in his class.
Yeah.
So he thought the Marines would like turn him into a man. And what it did was it turned him into an incredible shooter. I mean, we're talking Olympic caliber rifle and pistol.
Really?
He got, my God, my childhood was spent traveling around to gun ranges all over military bases. And from the time I can remember, we were posting and pasting targets in the pits. And it was so hot. He had a little army carrying all of his gear, all the ammo and the shooting stuff. He carried the gun, of course.
Yeah.
But we grew up running. So here he was, the nerd he was. Like I got a brother that's a chief of police. And he told me one time, he said that our dad was the kind of person that would be the scariest person to ever become an active shooter. He said, because when he would shoot, he would go into this deep breathing routine. It was almost like hypnotic.
Yeah. Nothing
else existed to him.
Huh.
Like my brother said, he'd go up in a tower somewhere and he'd never miss a headshot.
Wow.
Unfortunately, my dad never did that.
Yeah.
And we all learned how to shoot. My brother, the one I was talking about, the police officer, he's extremely good. He could have been competitive.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, that's my dad. We wasn't here to do about that. We're here about rods. So the next fish, 30-pounder. See how we're going up as we go. This one's a $1.34, and like you remember this one, Rod, the 30-pounder?
Yeah, I think that's
when you see it.
Oh yeah.
Let's roll it.
Oh, we got a good one, folks. We got a good one. Get that out of the way.
Come on now. Got him. All right. Oh, thing turned off.
30 pounds. Here it is, folks. 30 pounder. Pretty blue cat. Let's turn him loose.
That got me out of wind.
Believe me, that's happened to me too. Not near as often because I'm usually just reeling in crappie. Hey, the fishless fisherman made it in here. Hello, bud.
Howdy.
I have that's another one I'm subscribed to.
Yeah, that day there, I caught him. I think I caught 3 that day. Nice ones.
So tell me about that tattoo that was showing up so clearly in that video with your wife beater shirt on.
This one or this one?
It was that one you're showing.
That one?
Yeah.
That is a Mariner's cross. It's Jesus. They used the anchor for a cross and got Jesus on it.
Okay.
A lot of towboaters and mariners have them.
You think I would know this being in the Navy, but I never got a tattoo while I was in. So
Really?
yeah, I never did get a tattoo.
My dad was in the Navy during Vietnam. He was on the USS Kearsarge.
Yeah, I was in during the Libya thing, but fortunately, I never got shot.
That's good. Yeah.
I was on an old guided missile destroyer.
I got
and
you.
it was such a tin can, and getting through sea trials, we had so much trouble. They finally decommissioned the damn thing.
Yeah. I think that one Dad was on, it was an old World War II wooden plank aircraft carrier, he said. So it was a smaller one.
Well, one of the other people on the boat told me, said, "Do you know what our final purpose is?" And I said, "No." And he said, "If all else fails, we pull in front of the carrier and take the hit."
Oh, shoot.
I was like, "Man, I don't like this at all." And he's like, "Yeah, you got 350 people on this ship, and you got 3,500 on the carrier."
Yeah.
I was like, "I still don't like it. I'm not putting all their lives over mine. I'm just doing this to have something to do, but I didn't have a good job before I went in."
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either.
So, Rod, tell us how you got hooked up with brush pile jigs.
I was, I'd put a video out, the day it come out, and it was about it'd been out about 5 minutes, and I caught a 5-pound bass, and I was crappie fishing, but I was using one of the 1-inch. I'd been using brush piles for a while because they're tough baits. They hold up, they'll outlast a Bobby Garland. You'll catch twice as many fish on a brush pile as you will a Bobby Garland before it tore up. Not putting down Bobby Garland because I've caught a lot of fish on them.
So lie.
I'd put this video out. I'd caught a 5-pound bass on the 1-inch baby, they call it, and the video would come out, and it'd been out about 15 minutes, and I get a email from Lee Sharp, the guy that owns Brush Piles Jigs, wanting to know if I'd be interested in being sponsored by him. I was like, well, heck yeah, I would. But he'd been watching my videos. I didn't know he'd been watching my videos, but that's how it happened. He'd seen that bass on there, and he contacted me.
Nice. So, what's the sponsorship in telling me? Is it just free baits or?
Yeah, that's basically it. I get free baits. He'll send them. Well, anytime I call, he'll send them to me. But usually in the spring, he'll send me a big batch, and in the fall, he'll send me a big batch.
Anybody that fishes a lot understands the value of free lures.
Oh, heck yeah! I mean,
there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, they're $3.50 a pack, and even if you catch twice as many fish, you still go through them pretty quick. You know how it is.
If you're not getting snagged, you're not crappie fishing.
Oh yeah. That, and then just after so many fish on them, they start to fall apart. But
I started out, the bait that I started out using so much of when I started filming was the Berkeley gulps.
Yeah,
Berkeley gulp minnows. And those things were wonderful for catching crappie, but they did not last for the darn. I mean, bluegills were always coming up and biting off the tails.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, these things just don't last. And I got hooked up, found another guy on Facebook that had just started his business selling baits. Now his baits were tough.
Yeah.
And now I'm absolutely crazy over a couple of the crappie magnet lures that I swear to God, they're incredible lures.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can find I like the idea that you're with Brush Pile because of the size of their company.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sellout with that, you know.
Oh
You
yeah.
like jigs, you legitimately use them. You're not just talking out your hindside when you're talking about their baits.
Yeah, and like I said, I'd been using it for quite a while before they contacted me. So,
well, that's why
neat.
when you talk about Brush Pile jigs, I know it's not just a selling point. You're talking about something you believe in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
They just picked up another line. They just picked up another company, bought another company out. It ain't been too long ago, a month or so ago. So they got a bunch more new ones coming out. They're adding some paddle tails and some twister tail type stuff in there.
Nice. Well, I mean, you know, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so when I'm talking about lures, I only talk about them if they either don't work and I say it,
yeah,
or if they work and I say that. And I only do it. I only talk about lures because I'm not secretive about fishing. I don't have secret spots. I'm not one of those people like, don't tell anyone. I want everybody to catch fish.
Oh yeah.
I think it's such a great way to spend time that I want to enable everybody to enjoy it. I mean, it's pretty selfish if I don't want people to catch fish, because that's like saying I don't want people to enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking about a certain lure that's working for me and then it works for somebody else, I'm more than happy to pass that on.
Oh yeah. That's and you know, I've kind of, don't get me wrong, I really, really do appreciate them sponsoring me, but I've had several companies call me, say, hey, would you like to try our baits out? And I'm like, man, I can't. Because I agreed to, when I film, that's the only thing I'll use is brush piles, because they give me the baits. But
and every time you fish, you're going to film.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. So that side of it's kind of, I'd like to be able to try out some more baits and get my own.
You could try, and you just have to edit it out of your videos.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot of, because when you've got 4 hours worth of footage to go through.
Yeah.
You can't watch for small details like that. You're watching for before the catch, and right after.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're having to clip.
Oh yeah.
And so watching for what jig you're using, that would be so monotonous. But I get you. I kind of was offered a sponsorship once, and I shot it down for that very reason.
Yeah.
Now, I like the baits that I was using, and I would gladly tell people about them, and I did, but I didn't want to be locked down to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the only rods I use are like 99.9% of the time are ugly sticks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want ugly stick to have a deal with me where that's the only rod I could use, because maybe I'll find one I like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I use several different rods. I usually mostly ACCs, but I really like AC, and I'm not sponsored by them at all, but I love the rods. But I've got Outlaw, I've got some B&Ms, I got several of them I use. Heck, I got a Shakespeare, the real cheap Shakespeare, the ultra or microlight, I think they call it.
Yeah.
And that is for a $20 pole from Walmart. That thing is awesome.
I actually have a B&M rod. It's a 10-footer. And that thing, I mean, I've used it because I paid for it. But 10 foot's just too long for me to really get good casting in. My casting's not.
Well, that's a jigging pole for vertical jigging.
Is, but that's what I was getting to. I just now bought a spider rig setup.
Yeah.
In fact, it just arrived today. And I'm like, okay, that 10-footer is going to be good for that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
For the spider rig. I'll spider scope, though. You know me, I got my live scope.
Yeah.
But I don't watch the jig all the way down the fish's mouth. I just find the fish and then cast at them, and everything else is relying on the feel of the watching the line and the thump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just don't fish the screen. That's why I don't have all this footage of the line dropping down to the fish like people like to see.
Yeah.
I don't really watch it once the line hits. Once I see the fish, I know where to cast.
Yeah. I guess they got a way to
spider rigging. I've never done it.
Yeah. I guess they got away on that live scope because what's his name? Fishing Mississippi or something like that. He's got, I guess he can capture footage right off his live scope somehow or another. I don't know how that works, but
they have come along. James was telling me they went to Bass Pro last week, and they were looking at the new screens, the new live scope stuff, and playing around with them.
Mm-hmm.
He used to say it's almost like looking at an aquarium.
Wow.
My live scope is just fine for what I want. I mean, I'd never really used a fish finder in my life. And I went out with James that one time and saw his live scope. I was like, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they're expensive. I forked out the money. I got it. He set it up for me. So basically, to me, I don't have anything to compare to because I never used I never used a fish finder before.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to read them. I mean, James had to explain to me how, what this means. What's this mean?
Now I've got a down engine, side engine, Lowrance, the Elite, and I use it mainly all I ever use for is to see what temperature the water is. But I'll use it when the fish are deep, so they're way out deeper on structure in the wintertime and I'm trying to find fish then. But when they get to hit the bank, I'll turn it on and see what the water temperature is, and that's about it. And I don't have one up front with me; it's on the console.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of backlash against live scopes.
Oh yeah, it's controversial, that's for sure.
And I'm like, well, was there this kind of backlash when they come up with more advanced fish finders before?
I don't know. I don't know. I've fished with a live scope with a buddy that had a live scope 3 different times, and I really didn't enjoy it that much. But I was sitting there watching that. I was watching my jig and stuff, and I was missing more fish like that than I was because I'd set the hook before it looked like he was on it, and I was setting the hook before he was there actually.
Well, Rod, that's exactly why I don't fish the screen.
Yeah.
Going out with James, I mean, James is a good fisherman. Man, that dude has so much knowledge. But I've watched him miss so many fish because he's watching a screen and he thinks they're on a hook.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's what I was doing.
But you've lost your feel for it.
Yeah.
And I refuse to get hooked on that screen like that. But if I'd been used to another fish finder, I may have never messed with a live scope if I was accustomed to something else, but I'd never used one.
Yeah. Now, like I said, mine will show a big school of fish and everything, but it's not live. You go over and it's just basically a still picture. You know how they work, but
right. I think my favorite part of the live scope is I don't have to fish an area first to find out if there's any fish there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's on a live scope, they're there, and I don't really waste a lot of gas on the lake having to run 3 different spots before I find fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we got another count here. This is the which one did we watch last? 30 pounds or 28? 30, right?
30.
So we've got a 34 pound here. Yeah, let's show them that real quick. Are you ready, Rod?
I'm ready.
We got one here, folks. Oh, he feels like a good one. Try to get a weight on him. Okay, let's see here. 34, 35. We'll go about 33, 34 pounds. There we go, folks. He's 33, 34 pounds, somewhere in there. Bouncing around. Pretty good one. Let's let him go. Whoa.
A nice catch, 34 pounds.
Yeah, that was dandy there.
So tell me about when Bigfoot saw you. Nobody believes him.
Nobody believed him, no.
It's funny. My son is, he's always been tall, right, for his age, etc. But he's 36 now. He's 6'4", long arms, big hands, all that stuff. Built just like a Yeti. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not overweight. I mean, he's a workout freak. He wrestled from the time he was 5 years old all the way up through high school, etc. And he has stayed in shape, but just his general, he had this big afro, man. That thing was massive. And he looked so much like a Yeti. I always wanted to get a shirt made with his silhouette on it.
That's funny.
Yeti with a, going squatching type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever liked it. I even tell my granddaughter that, he's a Yeti.
Yeah.
He wears it short now for professional purposes.
Yeah.
He gave up the big fro that he had. I mean, when they went to Jamaica for their honeymoon, all the Jamaican guys local was calling him Johnny Cool.
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Sad thing about that is when they got back to the airport here in the States, he called me up and he goes, Dad, I don't know what to do. The car sounds terrible. He said, we're stuck here at the hotel, where they parked it overnight at the hotel before they were coming back here.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm afraid it's going to blow up or something. And I said, well, they had flown into O'Hara Airport in Chicago.
Yeah.
I said, son, start the car up for me. Let me hear it in the background. He did. Shut it right off. And I said, okay, you need to get under and look at your catalytic converter. I think it's gone. And he got under and he goes, man, somebody cut it off.
Oh, shoot.
And the hotel wouldn't give police their camera footage of the parking lot.
Really?
And the police officer was like, man, I'm really sorry. This happens at least once a week at this hotel.
Wow. That don't surprise me in Chicago.
Because they won't turn over the footage.
Isn't that something? Probably somebody at the hotel.
What's that?
It's probably somebody at the hotel.
Well, I think, believe me, Chicago's one of those places that you will find places with everybody has an angle, right?
Oh, yeah.
It would surprise me for them to have something worked out with a manager or something to where we give you so much money if you don't ever turn over that footage or if you turn the camera off or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, catalytic converter thefts are, been rampant for a long time.
Oh, yeah. They're expensive. That stuff that's inside of them.
He's like, so what do I do now? I'm like, well, you have full coverage on your car. Call up, get a rental, have that thing towed to a garage, and settle with your insurance company, which he's never had to deal with anything like that. Being older, of course, I've seen all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
It all ended up working out. I found out later that he could have just driven it home. After I talked to a friend that's mechanic, he could have driven it home. It would have been loud and obnoxious, but he could have driven it home, wouldn't have heard it.
No, I shouldn't have heard it, no.
So your granddaughter, how big was that fish you caught in that video?
Oh, that gar, it was 16 and a half pounds, 16.7 or 7 ounces, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I didn't get a video of that because I didn't want to think I was exploiting your granddaughter.
Yeah. I don't even know if I sent her or not, but yeah, she me and my son, that was my oldest son that was with me, and my grandson and my granddaughter. He's a big boy too. He's a correctional officer at a prison, but
well, then it's good he's big.
Oh yeah, he's 6'1". He's about the same size as me. We're both 6'1". My youngest son's 6'3", but he lifts weights and everything. But anyway, we was doing something that was, well, I don't even think I caught a fish that day. I think I actually reeled in one fish that day. Towards the end of the day, I let the grandkids do it all day and just sat back and watched. And we was, I don't know if we was messing with another fish or what we was doing, and the camera caught it all. Her setting the hook and everything on it. She was back there paying attention. We wasn't paying no attention, but it was quite a. It was fun. It was once we got it in the boat, she didn't want nothing to do with it.
Well, you can't really blame her.
Yeah.
I mean, I love taking my granddaughter fishing, and when I go, I don't even put a line in the water.
Yeah.
I just tell, and she's 8 now, and she was so excited because I was telling her a couple of days ago that it's time. She's ready to graduate to a different rod and reel setup. And I told her, I said, no more low hanging fruit. We're going to go find bigger fish when you're with me. And she was so excited. I said, you won't catch as many, but you'll catch bigger fish. It'll be a lot more fun when you do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I always figure low hanging fruit where she can catch 15 or 20 crappie, but they're never more than like 7 inches.
Yeah.
And that's been great for her catching all those fish, but she's excited to get something bigger now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, Wild Hook made it in.
Hey, Adrian.
Hey, Rod, The fishless fisherman has a question on here. Can you explain your rod setup from behind the boat? And were you trolling in that? My eyes are bad. Were you trolling in that last scene or anchored? What bait were you using?
I was anchored. I'll pull baits every once in a while, but most times I just anchor up. I like to fish the ledges. Them big catfish like to hang out off them ledges there a lot of times. But I was anchored. And explain the rod holder setup or the rod.
He said your rod setup from behind the boat.
The rod itself. Then it was there. Those was B&M Silver Cats, I think, what they call them. And I got PC funds on 2 of them. And I've got a bunch of different rods, but that one there was a PC fun with a Silver Cat, 7-footer, I believe.
And were you using bluegill head again?
Yeah, I think all them fish was bluegill. 30-pound Berkeley big game for my main line, and 60-pound Andes for my leader. And since then, I went to Andes for my main line. It's really not no more expensive than that Berkeley big game, and it's a whole lot better line.
Well, now you'd think with my name being Andy, I would have heard of that, but I haven't.
Andy's monster.
Yeah, it's not spelled like that, so it wouldn't do me no good.
Yeah, well, I've just ordered some 6-pound tests from them since I like the catfish so good. They got
fisherman. Did that answer your question? He gave you a thumbs up, so I guess it did.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. So now we got other people watching. I'm gonna play 40 seconds of Raunchy James again because I'm so happy with it. I'm gonna play a video clip, guys. It's my best friend. His name is James, and this dude is one of the funniest people I've ever met. And he really never cares what people think of him. He really doesn't. I was out there fishing one day, and I seen his boat, and I got close to him, and all of a sudden he pulls his shirt up to his neck and starts dancing around and rubbing his belly. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, that's my bear dance. That's where that line comes from in the song. I like, you mentioned it one time in the live stream. You said, hey, tell James his pencil holder showing.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been out there filming, and when I go back and look at my video, I see a butt crack like 6 inches long on my screen. No, come on, I'm like, dude, what the hell? He's like, I don't care. This is a guy that if it was legal to run around naked, he would do it.
Oh, wow. I got a buddy, I did a video like that, and when I edited the video, his butt crack was hanging out most times. I put little alien heads and stuff over it.
This guy, he just does not care. His favorite thing in the world are Hooters. And I'm not kidding when I say, we were out fishing one time, and I looked up at a cloud. And the cloud formation kind of looked like Hooters. I just told him, I said, hey, bud, there's clouds up there that you might like. And he looked up. Immediately, his eyes zoomed in on it, and he went, Hong Kong. I was like, God, you're so messed up. but he is just, his personality is just funny. And so I was messing around with this AI stuff, making songs, and I entered these lyrics, and they're not thinking much about it. But when it came out and they put the music to it and the voice, I just found it funny.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm tempted to go back in and edit it and write more lyrics to make a song that doesn't have to repeat itself, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys like a little 30-second. Just got his picture and his son's picture, and I don't have any video footage to put with it. It's just I did that so I could get the song on there. So here it goes.
Raunchy James and his boy Jeremiah. Crappy lies and Hooters in the sky. He loves his dog and a pussy too. I'm talking about a cat, don't be crude. Ass crack showing and doing the bear dance. Oh, Jeremiah caught a glance.
Okay, that's lyrics. And yeah, when I wrote those lyrics, I didn't anticipate playing it for other people. So I realize the lyrics are kind of wrong themselves, but that's the only way you can describe James.
It's funny.
Don't get me wrong, he's not there's not a mean bone in his body. He doesn't, he's just funny. And he just doesn't have the humor boundaries that most people have. Just there's no filters there. So I wouldn't be friends with anybody that was like dangerous or bad. So we got one more here. We got 34 pounds.
Another 34?
Did we already play the 34? I thought we played the 30, but not the 34.
The last one we played was 34.
Okay, well then that's it for the clips. Gosh, we've actually been streaming for an hour. I didn't realize that much time it went by. I'll tell you what, I got a live stream. I got one of these episodes coming up where I've got this is one of those pro tournament fishermen with really nice, like he's a brand ambassador for Crappie Magnet and he's a brand ambassador for B&M. And I want to talk to him. I want to let him talk about electronics and baits. And man, I've seen pictures of fish he caught in this tournament this past weekend. These crappie are hogs, man.
Oh, nice.
Hogs. It's not very often I'm jealous when somebody else catches fish, but it brought some envy out in me. I mean, these things, but these guys travel all over the country for these tournaments.
Yeah.
And I usually want to do this and feature YouTubers like yourself and, Wild Hook and so far, the people that I've been interacting with for for years now. But this is an opportunity. He lives in my hometown. We wound up friends on Facebook. I've never actually met him in person. Good family man, though, firefighter, etc., and a heck of a fisherman. But he really specializes in electronics, and I thought that might make a good episode to let him answer questions about electronics.
Yeah, that would.
So I'm gonna be working on that one here pretty soon. Like I said, I want to try to do an episode every couple of weeks. And when I get the website up, it's up, but it's not published. I'm still working it. But when I get that up, I'll put the link out for that too. I'd appreciate any traffic I can get, feedback.
Oh yeah, we'll check her out.
So Rod, well, you told us about how many grandkids you got?
3.
3 grandkids, all girls or?
No, I got one girl. The grandson's the oldest grandson he's 13 now, and then the granddaughter, she's 11, and I got a little 2-year-old grandson.
Oh, you've got all sorts of fun ahead of you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I've only got one, and she's 8. Don't get me wrong. If that's the only grandchild I ever have, she's perfect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having some more though.
Oh yeah, they're fun.
It's sad because they're more fun than it was with your own kids, right? Because there's a different responsibility, and you're older, and you got more patience, and
yeah, exactly.
It is more fun.
You can spoil them
and send them home.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. Get them all worked out.
Come over see me.
What was that?
I said my granddaughter loves coming over to visit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
both my grandkids love to fish. With the older ones, the little one he ain't been out yet. So, but he's only 2, so he'll get there.
Yeah, I think the first time I took my granddaughter fishing, I think she was 4. Yeah, and I went down to a neighbor's dock here, and we fished from there.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is she paid such good attention. She got like 6 bluegill.
Oh, cool.
A lot of it on her own. I mean, I helped her with little bits and pieces, but it threw me because she's such a lover of animals. And when she would see pictures of fish I caught, she'd always say, "Papa, did you let it go?" She wanted me to, right?
Yeah.
But when she caught those bluegill, the first one she reeled in was actually it was nice, like 8.5, 9-inch bluegill.
Oh wow!
And I said, "We ready to throw him back?" She goes, "No, I want to take him home." And I said, "Well, honey, these aren't pets." She goes, "I want to eat it, Papa." I said, "Really?" So she caught several that day that we kept. I brought them up home. I didn't let her watch me flame because that would have broken her little heart.
Yeah.
I deep fried them, and after that, she won't even eat fish unless it's bluegill. So I have to lie to her when I make crappie and say, "No, honey, that's bluegill." And how long have you been married, Rod?
Oh God, 30 You're putting me on the spot.
Oh, sorry. You don't want her watching this if you don't know.
We got married in 87. So what, 36 years?
37?
Yeah.
Yeah, 87. That's when my son was born. So that's how I do that math.
Yeah.
And I might even be wrong about his age, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
I'm
my
about to
oldest,
bring a calculator.
yeah. My oldest was born in 88. So
You didn't wait long.
no, not too long.
Well, that marriage, when my son was born, we got married in January and he was born in November. So the
Yeah.
math works out. He wasn't, I didn't know that my mom and my ex-wife at the time were planning on a grandchild and a baby.
Oh, wow.
So for me, it was a surprise. But then it was concocted.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but that was, that was 2 marriages ago. I'm currently swearing off the idea anymore. Only because I can't seem to make people happy when I'm around them a lot. I mean, I got 2 ex-wives and both of them swear up and down I'm an asshole. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. I gotta face it. So anyway, I'm gonna play this Fish and Rabbit Hole video. I already played it at the beginning, but this is gonna be my new intro for these episodes. I want to play it one more time because we got different people in here, and plus I like it. I'm proud of it. So I won't play the whole. Well, we'll see. I'll play a little bit of it, but I want you guys to see this.
By the water at the crack of dawn, casting tails where the big fish spawn, lines in the river where the secrets flow, reeling up stories from the depths below. A rabbit hole deep where no hooks can tread, fishing out whispers that the waters have said. The stories get tangled like nets in the night, but the Hoosier keeps fishing till the morning light. Down the rabbit hole where the currents swirl, looking every moment like a precious pearl. From the river of tales to the lake of lore, reeling up life and casting out more. The sun dips low, but the heart stays bright. Fishing dreams dancing, fading light. A tug on the line, a tale in disguise. The fishing Hoosier never says his goodbyes. With a creaky old boat and a bucket of dreams, he sails on the rivers, hanging endless streams, digging up memories like the earth's pure gold. He's the keeper of treasures untold. Down the rabbit hole where the currents swirl, hooking every moment like a precious pearl. From the river of tales to the lake of lore, reeling up life and casting out more.
All right, I'll cut it off there. I just like the song. That's all.
That's pretty cool.
AI is really something else anymore.
Oh, yeah. Kind of scary, actually.
It is scary, especially in the hands of the wrong people, and I think the wrong people are getting a hold of it.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't mean I won't use it to have some fun.
Yeah. My mom and dad got a call here, it's been within the last few months, and it sounded just like my niece, their granddaughter, my brother's daughter, saying she was in jail, needed money and everything, and luckily Dad didn't fall for it. He actually called her and said, "Hey," and she goes, she was at work, she's a school teacher, and she goes, "No, it wasn't me," but he goes, "It sounded just like her."
It's messed up, right?
Somebody trying to scam them out some money.
I used to work on people's computers that had a business doing it. And I had a lady one time bring me her computer, and she had gotten some scareware on her computer where they say they were the FBI and they found illegal stuff on her computer. And if she'd pay them $300, they wouldn't prosecute her. Well, scared, she was old. She didn't know what was going on. And she paid them. And in the meantime, they cleaned out her checking account. And she had like $3,500 in her checking account. It was all the money she had. She had been saving for new hearing aids.
Oh, man.
And man, it just made me so mad to think about people. I mean, we have a cybercrime unit here. I put a different hard drive in, set up her computer, and put better safeguards on it, and advise her to take the hard drive down to our cybercrime unit. But chances are there's no catching them. They're sitting on an island somewhere where we have no jurisdiction.
Oh yeah, over in another country somewhere else. Yeah.
Yep. But it just, I mean, after my dad passed away, I think about every week my mom would call me up and say, "Oh, I just won an iPad," or "I just won this." And I'm like, "No, you didn't." And I'd have to go over and cancel her cards and go through her banks, get her money back, and argue with the companies that were trying to cheat her. It just was like, I swear to God, if I could have got my hands on them, it would have been very unpleasant.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's sad. I mean, like that woman you're talking about. The FBI ain't going to tell you they're going to drop charges for $300.
No, and I told her, I explained to her how to avoid that stuff. If you get things popping up on a screen like that, if you can't remember the steps to get out of there without getting scammed, then just hold down the power button on your computer for 6 seconds. It will shut off. And that's the best way to avoid it. But I don't know that she was ever going to. But yeah, she grew up without the technology.
Oh, yeah.
So it's something she grew up with. And I don't know that anything I said made sense.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I mean, I think she got her money back through her bank. Back then, the problem is debit cards didn't have the protection that credit cards did.
No.
I think now the debit cards, the banks are putting in better protections for people, but then they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, Stacey, that wasn't me singing, buddy. That was artificial intelligence. but thank you.
Dang mosquitoes out here eating on me.
Yeah, well, we're going to wrap this up. This went on longer than I anticipated, but it's been too fun to cut it off. So.
Oh yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, so I appreciate it, Rod. Everybody, Rod's channel on YouTube, Rod's Fishing Adventures. I don't have a link put up. I should have, but I don't. James on guitar. There you go, Stacy. But everybody check out Rod's channel if you haven't. I think everybody that's in here has. They're already subscribed to you, Rod.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't bring you any new viewers, but maybe when I get this loaded as a video podcast, maybe I'll get some traffic and it'll drive some people to your YouTube.
All right. Definitely not. That's okay.
Rod, I appreciate you joining me. It's been a blast, and we'll do it again sometime.
I enjoyed myself. Thank you.
All right. Hey, everybody have a great night and tight lines and fair fishing. And I'll see you guys later.
See y'all.
Thanks, Rod.
Bye.